What's up, Far North Coins? Can you hear me? I don't know if everyone's here yet, but I just kicked this off. I'm just doing a quick one box hunt. Oh. How are you doing today? Hopefully doing all right. It is a glorious Sunday morning, and I have a lot to do today, and I figured what better way to start off the mid-morning, late morning than opening some halves with some friends. I need a box to throw these in. Give me a second. Everything look all right? I think you can see these $50. Day 3 of 24 at work before I can fly home. Where are you flying home from? By the way, I have done the coin roll. We got a couple of shinies. No silver enders. No nothing special. Looks like it's poking out here. So let me get these pushed back. Looks like I'm on my typical 20 or so second delay. So let's go a little further back. Yeah, it looks better. Well, I see we got 7 folks watching. I see Far North Coins is chatting. Anybody else? Who's lurking out there? Anybody new to coin roll hunting? I'll be honest with you guys, I do not expect much from this box today. My coins have been terrible of late. It's actually been so hard, I'm having a hard time making videos out of a lot of it. Do I set it to ultra low latency? Let me look. What do I have it set for? Output. I have my encoder set to very fast in OBS. I don't know where the latency setting in this would be, if there is one. Don't know, but I usually get like a 15 to 20 second delay is what I'm normally looking at. And I may have to adjust this because we're zoomed way in on this camera here. It's going to make it really hard for me to see stuff, but all right, that was a good check. So Tony O, are we having a coin shortage? Yes, we are. So I have just a couple of banks I actually get coins from regularly, and then I stick my head in banks as I can. And banks that are not my regular banks won't really give me anything, or what they will do is give me 1 to 2 rolls of each denomination. My regular banks won't give me pennies, nickels, quarters, or pennies, nickels. Occasionally I can get quarters. $50 they're able to order every week to every other week. But anything less than halves, I'm having a real hard time getting a hold of. Hey, Herman, or Keese, I think is the way we would say that. On the YouTube studio page. Let me check that out real quick, Far North Coins. Stream settings. Closed captions. Stream latency. Yeah, I am set to low latency. I'm not set to ultra low latency. Maybe next time I stream, we'll try that, if that does in fact make the difference. Yeah, Tonio, and what makes it even worse is that, you know, I get so excited when I do get coins, and then, you know, I get them home, and, you know, maybe I've been spoiled the last 4 or 5 months, but I'm really used to finding some good stuff usually. And, you know, I guess out of probably my last 8 to 10 boxes, I did get one 90% Walker, which was amazing. But then I am pretty much relegated to NIFCs. And, you know, when I first got into coin roll hunting, I collected tubes and tubes and tubes of NIFCs. And since then, I've started throwing them back because there's not a lot of value in them. You know, I mean, if you end up hawking them on eBay, if you have anything less than a whole set, you know, you're spending all that time and energy for effectively just a few dollars in profit. And to me, it's just not worth the time. So, yep. But I was I'm always thankful to find silver. I get real frustrated when I do end up 8, 10, 12, 15 boxes in and I get nothing, you know. And I know it's the cycle. I know it happens to everybody. I mean, I think I watched, you know, even the big guys, you know, like, we're going to look at that one in a second. You know, like Rob Finds Treasure and Silver Seeker and some of those guys that stream every week. You know, I've seen them go weeks and weeks doing 7 boxes at a go and finding nothing. And I know Rob's been on the tear of late. I think he's like his last 6 streams, they've found silver, which is awesome. And I think that's great for him. But I know he went through a dry spell as well. It's just tough when, you know, most of your channel's doing coin roll hunts and you don't find anything. So let's see here. Just catching up on the chat here. So Far North Coin says nickels up here are the hardest to get. Yeah, I can tell you in Atlanta as well. My Wells Fargo told me they will not give me any nickels, not even a couple of rolls. I only have 2 banks left that have coin machines. Other banks that I found that have coin machines down here are starting to charge for anything over $100 in deposit. So Far North, if you're saying going to ultra low latency, it will get me to 5 seconds. I'm going to totally do that on my next live stream because, like I said, right now I'm at probably 15 to 20. Hey, Rufo Tris, thanks for coming by and saying hi. Hit that like button if you don't mind. I'd appreciate it. Tony O's up in Minnesota. All right. Let's keep going. This is roll number 4. So far we are skunked. Oh, and I got that 71 I put under the scope I didn't look at. I am looking on this 71 for a split. This is kind of it, but not really. And the I on that N, or a doubling in the D and doubling in the word trust. I've only found in doing this for almost 2 years a couple of 1971 DDOs, 1971D DDOs, and I get tons of them. And part of the reason I don't think I find very many is I've started to only look at the really nice ones, because I figure if they're all beat up and you find a DDO, it's not worth anything anyway. So I just don't waste my time. So yeah, I was actually talking to my banker the other day. They were talking about the coin shortage, and I'm like, we probably only have a few more years of change even being a thing, because there's no reason we should be in a coin shortage today. And the only reason I can think of it is as businesses are opening, a lot of them aren't taking cash right now. So, you know, I think that's causing there to be a circulation problem. It's not about people not being back at work. It's not about people not being out and about and buying things. It's just a lot of places aren't taking cash anymore. So, hey man, I you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you can take bags and bags of coins into the casino and they take them, knock yourself out. I feel bad, you know, because I really have one bank where I take all my coins back, and you know, I might go through anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a week in coins, depending on what I can get. And I feel really bad being in there 3 or 4 days a week, because I typically only float 1,000 to 1,500 at a go, typically about 1,000. And you know, I feel really bad when I'm in there every other day dropping $1,000 in the machine and them having to change the bags and all that kind of stuff. Before, I used to be able to spread it out a little bit, and I didn't feel so bad because it was, you know, the effort was put on a couple of different banks, and now I'm down to really just one. So, but I wouldn't feel bad. I mean, casinos are all about taking your money. You may as well give them money, right? Herman Ortiz, back in Feb, I hit a silver dump in one box, 270, 90% half dollars. Now that, my friend, is amazing. You know, I don't remember what silver was back in February, but figure at about 10, what is it, about $10 a half dollar. You just made almost $3,000 in a box. That's amazing. My best ever, I think, is like 54 or 58 total silvers, and it was about half and half, 90s and 40s. So far north, your theory is that the Fed's trying to pump new coins in and take old coins out. I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong, because I would never make a comment from the place of knowing about that, but it wouldn't surprise me. I know Canada is starting to sort through their currency and pull old stuff, and you can actually tell from the boxes that they get in Canada whether they've been pre-searched by the government or by, you know, whatever their securities companies are. So when you pick up a box, if it has a certain label on it, you already know that it's been searched and old coins have been pulled. And I had a theory when I first started my channel that the local Loomis was actually already pulling silver from the boxes, because this is a Loomis box, and I know other parts of the country Loomis has silver in it, but I just don't get a lot of silver in my Loomis boxes. I've had some big hits, but they're very few and far between. I've had far better luck at Brinks, at least where I live and the banks I'm getting coin from. Maybe it's luck of the draw, but for a long time I theorized that in Atlanta they were pulling silver. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility too. And honestly, I think, you know, if they're hoarding them, it's awful, because I think, you know, if you're a coin collector or numismatist or something, those coins should be allowed to float out there for you to find them, you know. I mean, I think they're destroying a hobby. They're destroying history. And I mean, if they're doing it to make a buck, I get it. But, you know, it's not like you can go to usmint.org and find you a 1883, you know, whatever, draped bust quarter or half dollar. And, you know, I'm sure occasionally those end up in circulation somewhere. I mean, I found a seated Liberty quarter in a box. So, you know, they do make their way into circulation sometimes. It happens for sure. Tell you what, Herman, I would love to have been the person to pull 270, 90% silvers, though. That would have been amazing. I mean, if you think about that, that means more than half your box was silver. Is that right? Or is it a quarter of your box? A quarter of your box was silver. There's 1,000 coins and a $500 box, so a quarter of your box. Every roll was like 4 silvers, 90%. That's crazy. Oh, there's a 2002 NIFC. I am the king of the NIFC. It's not even a keeper. Just to show you guys. There is our 02. And we'll put you over here. So why else would the U.S. Mint be struggling to get coins to markets? I mean, I think I gave you my one theory. It's not so much about the Mint being able to do it. It's that more and more places are going to credit. So cash is just not being circulated. So I think that's probably more it than anything. I do know that the Mint does destroy cash and change over time. I mean, especially with bills. There's a 2014 Denver. There's our 1-4. I know I've got my scope really tight here. We'll put that one over here. So, I mean, I think there's possibly other theories there. But like I said, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong because I don't know. Check something here on the computer just so I can see. So we got six folks in the chat. That's not bad for a pop-up on a Sunday morning. Anybody have any big plans today for Sunday? I know I've got a little bit of work to do. And then we're hoping to hit the pool later in the afternoon. Go and just relax for a little bit before the crazy week in front of us. And I think next week is my kids' last week off. Looking for an FG on that one, folks. Yeah, my kids go back to school, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday next week. The summer is already over, which is just crazy. This is roll, what is this, roll 12? 10, 11, 12, roll 12. Roll 12. Oh, I guess I could update my little ticker too. So we do have 2 NIFCs. I think it's funny that no matter how I open a roll, the overwhelming majority of the coins seem to always be tails facing me. And you would think it would be 50-50, but it is not. And I also have been getting, I don't know about you guys, I've been getting a lot of gray coins where it looks like people are purposefully kind of making them gray or silvery looking. And you get excited when you peel that paper back and think you've got something. Got another 2002, I think this time it's a Denver. So we got the 2002 set in this box. I always look at my 77Ds because I just don't get many of them. So those are my 74Ds. I just don't get many of them, so I like to give them a look. Make sure that's a Denver. It is. Yeah, come on, Treasure is right. It was a tough week. It really was for hunting coins. I've got a couple of videos queued up that I'll post, and if you guys watch them, you'll see what I'm talking about. That I've been the NIFC king or the skunk king. I do have, I have 4 boxes of halves waiting for me at another bank, and I got out there yesterday to pick them up, and the normal bank manager was off yesterday, and they had like a couple of new people working there, and they couldn't even get in the vault, so I had to pass. I'll have to pick those up on Monday. So hopefully, and these will be, hopefully they'll be Brinks boxes. That's the other thing I have found in Atlanta when we go into a shortage, because I get certain boxes that are quote unquote Brinks boxes, right? Like the black cubes and $50 from Brinks. And I get the, you know, nice, thick, heavy yellow boxes from Loomis that say Loomis on them. But when we go into a coin shortage, I get the boxes with holes in them from String & Son. What is it? NA String & Son or something. And the boxes are real flimsy and they fall apart. And but I only get those when there's a shortage. Anytime other than that, I get the normal stuff. I thought that was the cat, sweetie. Banging around back there. 71 Ring of Death. But this is what most of my hunts have looked like of late. There's a 2004 Philadelphia. Right there. Get that under the scope. There's my 04. Actually back out on that a little bit. It's a little too big. I get the whole, at least part of the year in there. Let's see. I can get more of the year in there now. That's better. So Tony O, what's my plan for my 40%? My 40%ers, I typically, when you see silver spike, I offload a roll or two. That's what I do with my 40s. That said, I have rolls and rolls of 40s. Hang on here, we got a couple of real shinies. 1987 Denver. So that is the special NIFC, for those of you that don't know. The 87 $50, I believe, only came out in mint sets. So this is a clad, it's not a San Francisco, it is a Denver, so this came from a mint set. But that is not an easy one to find. So we'll put that over here in the right order. I usually find those in proofs. I don't typically find the clad version, but that's kind of a neat find. Pretty sure that's a Denver. My eyes are getting old. And when they're this shiny, yeah, it's a Philadelphia. So yeah, my 40s. Yeah, I want to say like the last time I sold a roll of 40s, I sold it on Facebook and I got something like $95 or $98 for it because silver had spiked up to like the high 28s or 29s or something like that. Other than that, I just hang on to them. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, silver is silver. And, you know, I like to give away 40%ers when I do giveaways because, you know, value-wise, they are still worth a couple of bucks. But that's what I'm going to do. I mean, if I had hundreds and hundreds of rolls of them, I'd probably have a more thought out plan and probably be more eager to trade them out or trade them up. But I don't. Yeah, the 87s are they're funny because I get those in spurts. And when I first started my channel, actually, I want to say in one of my first couple of videos, I found the 87P like in one video, and then the next video I did, I got the 87D, and was like, wow, these must not be that hard to find. And then I don't think I found another one for 4 months or something like that. So they definitely come and go. But I think I've got more of the S proof 1987s than I have of the mint set versions that I found coin roll hunting. Some ugly coins in here, some dirty coins. Trade at your local coin shop or just sell? So for me, I sell them because and I've talked to my coin shop, they're very proud of their coins. They're also in a location where the rent is not cheap, I don't think. So, you know, for them, I've been in there and they've offered me, I want to say something like 2.5 times face for 40%. And if I recall, a 40% today is worth like $450, or, you know, give or take that kind of range. So they basically offered me half price. Maybe even a little less than half price. Now, I haven't been in there since silver, you know, the silver squeeze, and since silver became tight and the price went up, and I know it's come down recently. But I haven't been in there to renegotiate with them. So for me, they see a trade at the coin shop as a cash transaction. They buy your silver and then give you cash, and then you use your cash to buy theirs. And there's no, unless it's a huge volume, there's no wiggle room in there. So for me, that at least my closest local coin shop, a trade is just not, it's not a smart move. I'd lose too much money on the transaction. Tony O says, I asked because I traded 450 face 40% for an 1895 S20 gold piece and 3 rolls of silver quarters. Kind of somewhat have seller's remorse. So your $20 gold piece is worth, call it $1,800 to $1,900 with the premiums. Your 3 rolls of silver quarters are each worth today, what, $200 to $225, maybe more depending on conditions. So easy math, make it 246. I mean, what, $2,500 maybe, give or take. What is $450 worth of 40% worth? Give me a second, I'll look it up. That is not the right website. So maybe I misread something here. So yeah, I think maybe you made a bad deal there, because they're saying, Coin Apps is saying 900 40% silver halves is worth about $33.50. And that 1895S, depending on its condition, of course, I was quoting spot price, could be worth a lot more. I mean, if it's jewelry grade, it's in the price range I just said. If it's numismatically relevant, maybe it's worth $3,000 all by itself, and you made a great deal. So I think really for me, what hinged on that is the quality of the coins that you got. So, and I only know this because I have a Liberty Head $20 gold piece that I've been trying to get kind of top dollar for, but it's in jewelry grade, right? It's in average condition, right? And you know, I want to get 1900 plus for it. Most people are only willing to give me about 18 to 1850, and I should just bite the bullet and do it, because I'd still make a bunch of money on any of those numbers. But so it really just depends on that gold piece, man. I'll be honest with you. If it's in fantastic shape, you might have done okay. But if it's not in great shape, then I think you maybe sold yourself a little short. But that's me looking at today's value, not when you sold it. So couple of shinies in the back here. Let's see here, 79 and a bicentennial. Junk. If you're anybody's keeping count, we are on roll 21. So this will be a short live stream today because I'm just doing this one box. Just kind of hanging out, looking to chat with people. Happy to talk about anything, more or less. So, and the quarters, like I said, it depends on when you did it. I mean, I've seen rolls of quarters on Facebook going for, 22, 23 times face. So that's, $230 a roll. I've seen them going for more than that if they're in great shape. So, 2001, looking really nice. I'll look at that 73 too. Well, so it doesn't have to be graded for you to look at it and assign where you think it would fall on the spectrum, right? I mean, head on over to like PCGS's photo grade, and you can look and kind of see where yours would land. And I even want to say like Redbook has some criteria for where it's going to land, and you should at least be able to get it close, right? Is it AU? Is it BU? Is it a fine? Is it an extra fine? Is it a, at least get it in that category. And then from there, you can start looking on Boolean sites and whatnot and understand, and even eBay really, do I have a coin that's worth melt, or do I have a coin that's got $1,000 premium on it, right? Because of the condition. And that's why I say mine is a jewelry grade. It's a lower condition. So while the pre-33 gold should always carry a premium, you should, in my opinion, you should never sell it for melt. But, that premium is going to be up to the condition. Yeah, I got the gold I have is from a coin collection I bought, and I basically I had to move my coins over. I had every one of these, right? And unfortunately, they were all pretty much in that, potentially cleaned jewelry grade. Beautiful pieces. I mean, I love that I have them. I'm selling a couple of them just because I can make some decent profit on them. But I'm hanging on to some of them too because I got such a good deal on the whole set. Yeah, yep. And I mean, me too. Part of the reason I bought that big coin collection was because it came with all that gold, because I've been collecting silver. I say collecting, stacking, collecting, acquiring, pick your favorite term, for quite a while. We have a 2010 NIFC, Philadelphia. There's the 1-0 on our NIFC. So what are we up to? 6 of those. And I just don't recall what spot price was back then too. So a lot of what you get, like I said, no one's going to buy a roll of 40% today for $90-something. It just doesn't support it. But when silver spiked up to whatever it was near its height, and it was like it was going close to breaking 30. That's when I sold stuff. All right, that was roll 25. We're into roll 26. We need some silver, folks. I need some silver. We need some silver. I've looked at a lot of half dollars in the last 2 weeks to find just one piece of silver. It's a D. Another NIFC, 2011. There's our 1-1. Guess while I'm over here under the scope, no double there. You got an 86 JFK half dollar, 60 of which are still in the rolls from the bank, and 26 out. I don't know what I might have. You got an 86. I got you. Okay, so I thought you were talking about you got a 1986. I'm trying to figure out, like, that's not going to be worth anything. Okay. Well, I mean, so you're saying you have $60 worth of rolls, or you have 60 rolls? You confuse me here, Lou. I'd love to help you out here, but I'm not sure what you're telling me. You know, it's even been a while since I found a foreign. I was finding Balboas like every week. I haven't seen a Balboa in 2 or 3 months now. No. Come on, silver. Come on, silver, silver, silver. None in there. I was on a live stream the other day and I said if bicentennial half dollars were made of silver, I could retire. Because I swear, usually a quarter, a half of a box seems to be bicentennials for me. I think they were just overproduced. Uh-oh, my dog's barking at somebody upstairs. Got a shiny in here. Just a 1995. With a red ear. What's up, Muscle Shell? You may notice, Muscle Shell, you have a wrench next to your name because I figured you should be a moderator on all channels. Any auctions? Herman, are you asking me if I'm doing an auction today? You know, I have never auctioned anything on my channel, and I've been considering it. So no, I do not have an auction planned today, because I would rather give some heads up and notice, so hopefully we can get as many people as possible to the auction. So yes, I've been tinkering with the idea of doing both, actually, auctions and you know, doing the ability to buy rolls and whatnot, like a lot of other channels are doing. I don't want to make it the main focus of my channel. But it's something that I think I'm going to start doing from time to time. But, so yeah, just not today. So this is a 2011 D, looks like, Ring of Death that somebody has marked. And it is an NIFC, so we'll keep it for now. But that was definitely going back in the bin. So, Lou, first time watching a live, and I'll love some feedback on some questions I have. Sure. Anything, ask questions, knock yourself out. What's up, LNW? I am here to help you. Coin roll hunting is a lot of fun, but it can also be really maddening sometimes. But go for it. Ask your questions. It's a beautiful 88. That probably came from a mint set. Philadelphia. For sure. No luck this week. I think my last silver I found was last week in a video, or maybe it was last weekend. No silver for me today. But silver's been tough. Silver's been real tough. Even getting boxes has been harder than it's supposed to be. But we're managing. We're still finding stuff to look at. I even did a penny box this week that I haven't posted the video yet. Man, that was a tough penny box. Probably my worst penny box ever hunted. Well, I've still got my fingers crossed. We might find some silver in this box. We still have 15, 16, 17. With this roll, 18 to go. So, we might find some. So Lou says, thanks, I recently started collecting and I got a lot of every piece of change from pennies on up, and I would like to know what I have with the 80 half dollars. Hey, Francis Rakowski. What do you have with the 80 half dollars? I don't know what I go means. I'm sure that's an autocorrect. So, if you just have 80 half dollars, honestly, you could just have 80 half dollars that are worth 50 cents, or once you get into those rolls, you might end up with rolls and rolls of silver. You just don't know till you get into it. I have a document on all of my videos, pretty much on all my coin roll hunt videos, that cover the main varieties and errors you should be looking for that will carry some additional value on eBay. Now, when I say additional value, that might mean it's a quarter that's now worth $1. It might mean that it's a half dollar that might be worth 50 or 100 if you find it, right? So it just depends. So without specifics, it'll be hard to answer your question. But typically, we're looking for silver is the main reason we do this, and that is going to be anything 1970 and earlier. 40% is your 1965s to 1970s, and 90% is anything prior to that. And what I'm looking at here under the scope when you see me push coins under here is I'm typically looking for double die obverses, which means there's doubling in the coin and it is an error from the mint. And that doubling can typically be seen in a few key spots on the coins. And most of your half dollars, it's in the word in, or it's in the word trust. Some of them, it can be in the Y or the T. And for like the 1973, you can even see it in the L, the I, and the B. So it just depends on which coin I have as what error I'm looking for. So 3 of them you have unwrapped. So I guess the short answer, or the short question would be, do you have anything 2002 or higher? Or do you have anything 1970 and lower? Or do you have a 1987? Because they're also a wonky NIFC because they only did those in mint sets. An 8393. That's an 83. And I would say if they're all Kennedys and they're not 1970 or earlier or 1987 or 2002 or later, they're just half dollars. Unless you want to check the specific years on my document for the errors that are pointed out there. And there are plenty of people, Lou, that do go to the bank. And I mean, there are people that know what they're looking for, but we'll just get a few rolls and end up with a jackpot, right? It does happen. I mean, every time I walk into a bank, I ask if they have loose $50 and I ask if they have rolled $50. And sometimes they, will say, hey, I got a couple of loose ones here. And sure enough, there'll be a 40% or a 90% in that loose couple of $50 behind the counter. It happens. Hey, Capital Currency, what's up, man? I love that you said you were unsubscribing because I didn't tell you where I bought my silver. I thought that was funny. I hope you didn't unsubscribe, but if you did, it'd be okay. It might hurt my feelings for a few minutes, but it was a funny comment. I thought it was hilarious, actually, when I saw it. It's like, you're not telling me where you bought that silver? I'm unsubscribing. I thought that was funny. $19.96. It made me giggle. All right, we got 13 rolls left. And Lou, if you're just getting into coin roll hunting or even coin collecting, if you haven't already, I would go invest in the 2022 Red Book. They're already out. That is a fantastic resource just to have, sitting around the house as you coin roll hunt to look stuff up. And then there's a bunch of great online resources, PCGS being one of many, Variety Vista being another one. Coinflation for silver and gold values is another one. But just, I think a book anyone that collects coins should have laying around the house is the Red Book. And it's not an expensive book, I want to say. I mean, I've got it I have an affiliate link in all my videos. I think my link today is for the 2021 book, but you can use my link and then go find it if you want. I get like 50 cents if you buy it or something stupid. But yeah, if you don't have the Red Book, that's something I would invest in pretty quickly. Local coin shops usually have it for not too expensive. You might be able to get it cheaper there. Amazon may be cheaper too, though. Lots of shiny in this roll. Probably nothing in here, though. $2001, 1983 with an FG. Nice 1997. We do have a 2005 Philly. Another NIFC. This one's actually in pretty decent shape. Go here with our 04. 10 rolls left, boys and girls. How many folks do we still have with us? 12. Well, I got a lot of lurkers. You're just waiting for me to find some silver so you can all say boom in the chat. That's what you're all waiting for. I'd love to see a boom. Love to see it. I haven't found a magic coin in a long time either. I've found 3 or 4 of those in the last year or so, and I haven't seen one in quite some time. So you're looking at 1971D, 3 1972, 3 1973, 1 1974, 77, and a 79. So the 171D has a DDO. The other ones probably do have some errors and varieties, but they're not very common. And the 74D has a DDO, but it sounds like you've got a Philly. And the 72D has a no FG variety or error on it. But based on what you put in there, the only thing would be worth looking at is the 71. And the odds of that one being a DDO are slim and none, but it could be. The rest of that's just pocket change. I do think it's kind of funny, and I mean, I was in the same boat when I first started. I remember my first box, I literally opened every roll and I sorted every coin into stacks, into Philadelphia and Denver. And because I didn't know what I was looking for and I didn't want to miss anything. And it probably took 4 hours of stacking and sorting coins. And then going to Redbook and looking online and what should I look for and all that. And then because I had it all sorted, that's when I went and I bought the Kennedy books to fill. You guys know these things. And basically in that first box, I filled like 75 or 80% of the book, at least up to the NIFCs, right? It was pretty funny. We have another 2011 Philly. And I think, I mean, we all have to start somewhere. I did the same thing with quarters because I didn't know what I was looking for. There's 2011. And, you know, and the more you do it, the more you learn. The more you learn, the faster you can go. But I know, like, my first penny box took me 4 or 5 hours because I had no idea what I was doing. And pennies still take me forever because my eyes are terrible. And pennies are typically pretty gunky anyway and hard to see. So I've gotten a box of pennies down to, you know, I would say an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half. But pennies take me a long, long time. That 83 desperately wanted to be silver from the edge. What's up, Coin Hunter Chris? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so your 74D, I don't have one handy. Give me just a second. I might. I actually just did a video on this, but this might not be the best example either. And this isn't a flip, so you're going to have a really bad reflection, but that's what a DDO looks like. If you'll look, the S, you can see 2 S's, you can see 2 T's, you can see 2 U's, you can see 2 R's, and there's a little notch. If you look at the little stem of the 4 that shoots out to the right, there's some doubling on that. And so, yeah, this is what you're looking for in your 74s. So hopefully that helps you. What's up, Diggin' Dave? What's going on, man? What's up, Rick Lewis? We're at the tail end of this box. We got 6 rolls left. I needed to go through it, and I figured rather than doing it all by myself, I would jump online and see if I could find some friends to hang out and chat with. So thanks for coming by. Good to see you too, Rick Lewis. So far, we are on an NIFC box with the coolest find being this 1987D. In really clean shape. This is a really nice coin. The rest of them are your stock and standard NIFCs that I likely will not be hanging on to. No errors, no varieties, no silver so far. Hey, High Pockets, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. 5 rolls left, boys and girls. I always say boys and girls. I know there's usually, you know, maybe one girl out there. Maybe 2. Amanda C., Cherie Ward. Not many ladies in the crew. There are some. Yeah, High Pockets, we've been saying that since I started. We got 4 rolls left, and then I am all done. So we will have, what is this, 5, 10 NIFCs. Let me update my little ticker here so it's up to speed. I don't have the fancy Stream Deck yet, so I got to do all that manually on text files. I looked into those things. They're actually pretty cool, but they are not cheap. Do a decent sized Stream Deck, do the coding to get that set up. It's not a 15-minute exercise or a $20 buy. It's a little bit of an investment. Three rolls left. I want to say once, and I think it was even in a stream, we found silver in the very last roll. That was kind of cool. That just means I started from the wrong end of the box. It's kind of like lottery tickets, right? If you're at the beginning of the book, all the winners are at the end. There's a 2016 Philly. Again, somebody wrote on it. I don't know why. 14, 16. That's kind of still on screen. Oh wow, in months. I've not had that problem. I can still get them, but like I was saying earlier in my stream, my Wells Fargo can only order them every other week right now, and my Fifth Third seems to still be able to get them, but they don't always get my full order. So I too have been struggling to get boxes, and when I do get them, lately they just haven't been very good. But I was kind of hopeful in a coin shortage that, you know, when they ran out of boxes, it means this big room that they had boxes stacked to the ceiling just slowly depleted. And you would figure the back of the room, you know, on the bottom box was their oldest box, you know, and we would eventually get to those and they would just be chocked full of like 40 and 90% silvers. And that doesn't seem to be the case. And maybe that's not how they do it. But in my head, that's how it, you know, there's some big vault just with boxes and boxes of $50 that haven't been touched in 40 years. And those are the boxes I want to get. So that's not my experience lately, though. So 215 Lou, you have a 71D, 73D. So there's a DDO on the 71D, 73D, 74D. So I tell you what, Lou, what you need to do, because I won't have time to do it today. I actually just did a video like 2 weeks ago. So if you go to my channel, I show you how to find all of these standard DDOs and what they look like. It's a whole video dedicated to it. It's only like, I want to say 10 or 15 minutes. So it'll show you the 71D, the 73D, the 74D, the 72D, no FG, the 82P, and the 83P, no FG. And I show you examples of what you're looking for. So that's one I would just go check out when you have a minute. Not that I don't want to help you, but I literally, it's already in the can, and I posted it literally a week or two ago. Mo Money Inc. asked me to do it a couple of weeks ago, so I went ahead and put it together for him. And so have a look at that video. If you still have questions, man, feel free to shoot me an email. But I think everything you need to know is in that video. And it's not a long one. It's, you know, like I said, it's maybe 15, 20 minutes tops. This is our last roll, boys and girls, right here. You can see my big empty box here. So Rick, you said I picked up 3 half-dollar boxes last week. One box was all 2021 Ds. Yeah, Coin Hunter Chris had that yesterday. He posted like a 59-second video that said, I just picked this up from the bank. We're going to do a coin roll hunt. Let's get into this box and check it out. Then he opened it and was like, oh, crap. And it was 50 rolls of 2021s. I don't know if he had Phillies or Denvers, but he did. He had a full 50 rolls of 2021s. And not that I want that. I wouldn't be real disappointed because I would love to get a couple of like pristine 2021 P&Ds. But at the same time, I'd be a little disappointed that I waited all week for a box of coins. And that's all you got. No, so the bicentennial half, there is an error, and I don't remember if it's the P or the D or if it could be on both, but there is an error, I want to say, on the bicentennial that they mistakenly struck on a silver planchet. And the only way to identify it is A, the silver does tone a little differently, and you got to weigh it. And unfortunately, off the top of my head, I don't remember what the weight difference is between the standard one and the silver one. But that is a real rare one out there. Very few people look for it because, like I said, they overproduced. I said this earlier. They overproduced the bicentennial. And that's why I feel like in my boxes, I find, you know, half of my box is bicentennial. I'm pretty sure it was the bicentennial that they did the silver planchet on. I might be mistaken, but I remember reading that somewhere, and maybe it's a 74, but I thought it was the bicentennial. So if I'm wrong, somebody correct me real quick. But I know that there's in that time frame there is a error struck on a silver planchet. I am opening rolls. This is awesome. Thanks, Muscle Shell. I appreciate that. He says that as I opened my last roll. So that is it. We found. I'm even going to zoom in here a little bit as we look at them. Come way in here. That's as close as I can get. This was probably the coolest thing we found. 1987 Denver. Outside of that, we did have the set of 2002s. We had an 04. We had an 05. One 2010. 3 2011s. 2014 and a 2016, and whoever this is, I think they're the same person, decided they needed to write on NIFCs. So that is our hunt for the day. The only thing that I'm going to keep out of this bunch is this 1987 NIFC. Hey, Lou, no problem. Yeah, feel free. If you want to donate, you can always just PayPal me at... I've got a link for a donation in all my videos, or you can just PayPal to my email address. I'd greatly appreciate it. I finally did get monetized back in early July or late June, and every time you watch a video, it shows ads, so I get a little bit of money here and there. But yeah, no, congrats, and it's a great hobby. It can be a lot of fun. Just realize that it's treasure hunting in your house, and sometimes you're going to find treasure, and sometimes you're not. So don't get discouraged, and just keep going. And but it's a great hobby. I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it since I started my YouTube channel. It's a great community, and so welcome, man. I would love to open more rolls, Muscle Shell, if you're talking to me, but I don't have any more. Trying to think, what can I show you? I don't think I have anything new. I showed you guys my Marvel coins from yesterday. And I showed you my Millennium Falcon coins from the week before. We did unboxings on those. But I have nothing else to open, man. Yeah, and you feel free to shoot me an email. I try to respond to folks. I don't have 90,000 subscribers yet, so I don't get a ton of mail. So you'll likely get a response if you shoot me a note, Lou. And you see Muscle Shell in here. I was joking earlier. He's truly he's in the coin community everywhere. Really helpful guy. He's just a smart guy, and I'm sure he'd love to help you as well. I don't want to speak necessarily for him, but I know when I got monetized, he offered to help me get everything set up, and luckily I got it all figured out pretty quick. But he just jumped right to offer to help me out. So the coin community out here is great. Catch live streams, watch videos. You'll learn a ton really, really fast. So let me look who's still out there. We got 5 folks. So I don't have anything else to show you guys. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you hanging out with me and keeping me what's the right word here? Keeping me busy, keeping me company while we went through this adventure together. And like I said, I've got a couple more boxes to pick up. I may live stream next week if I can find the time. Work's just been kicking my butt. I've been busy from the minute I wake up till like 6 or 7 at night, and just haven't had time to schedule something to live stream, and I've just been opening boxes when I can. So I do enjoy the live stream. I'm sure I'm going to have to do it more often. So yeah, Irish Collector just missed it. Just wrapping up, man. Thanks for stopping by, though. Really appreciate it. So with that, I'm gonna call it a day. And yeah, Muscle Shell is absolutely right. It's a great community. Anybody out here is willing to help. So thanks, team. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, coin community. You guys take care. I'm going to call it a day. See you next time.